So let's take a look at even more things you can unlock in Starfield, and this includes your very own free luxury penthouse, a very strong set of legendary armors, as well as some of the best weapons that you can easily miss, but I highly suggest to go ahead and hunt for them because they are very strong. Now, many of these rewards actually come from the faction missions, so if you haven't focused on those yet, I highly encourage you to do so because the rewards here are definitely worth it. Now, there are about 10 to 12 missions depending on the faction, but all of them are absolutely worth it. And in certain situations, you do have to make some tough decisions, but these can lead to even more amazing things and goodies along the way. So the first one is from the UC Vanguard, one of the first factions you can join in as soon as you hit New Atlantis, and one of the first missions already gives you a bunch of rewards if you keep an eye out open. So one of the first is in the mission called Grunt Work. I believe that this is the second or the third mission you can do for UC Vanguard, and this is going to bring you to this base, kind of abandoned. You have to power this up, and there's also a very strange secret happening here. But as soon as you hit this location with some of these crates in the background with Tau written on them, this is the place you want to be because you're going to grab a very powerful pistol. So make your way outside of the building, go past the first row of boxes all the way into the second one, and you're going to notice that the one on top is opened and it contains a box which is going to give you the Radburn Pistol. I really like this one. It comes with a radioactive effect, so it randomly deals radioactive damage and demoralizes the target, but it also comes with incendiary rounds which are actually quite good at dealing damage. You basically shoot enemies and constantly set them on fire, which doesn't just provide you the amazing damage that this gun already has, but you also have the damage over time. It kind of keeps them busy a bit. Usually it just makes them flee from you, so they are quite easy targets to pick off. And the best part is that this also works on armored enemies, so it means it's like just amazing in almost any type of situation. The second missable item is the Ambasador Pistol, which is actually much stronger than it looks. So basically, this is something that you also get from the UC quest chain from the mission called Friends Like These. In this one, you kind of have to collect a bunch of data and eventually get a code to enter a certain archive. And for that, eventually, you're going to have to speak with Ambassador Radcliffe. However, initially, she's going to be reluctant to help you. So to trigger the dialogue option that gives you this reward from her, you're going to first not want to pick the option to persuade her. Instead, pick the second, fine, I'll just figure this out some other way. From this point on, you can speak to her assistant, which is going to give you some help in digging up some dirt on Ambassador Radcliffe. So this is going to be used to compel her to be helpful in the later stages. Once it's done, go back, talk to Radcliffe, and again, go through the dialogues as normal without picking persuasion. And on the last dialogue here, instead of going with the you got yourself a deal, pick the third option. You call that a negotiation without even offering me a gift. So this is going to now compel her to give you a very powerful pistol called the Ambassador. So this literally comes in with all the high damage components, fully upgraded with mods. So it has the high power, the extended magazine, the muzzle brakes, and everything, including penetrating rounds. So this is an insane powerhouse. It has a very high rate of fire, so you basically empty that clip in an instant, but it also deals very high damage, more so than almost any pistol I've used up until now, maybe with the exception of the Keel Hauler, but it kind of gets very close to that, and in certain situations it even exceeds it. So very strong option to have that you can easily miss otherwise. But from this point on, the next set of rewards that you get are towards the end of the quest chain, and this involves a bunch of weapons as well as probably one of the best armors of legendary quality you can get at that stage. So this is during the mission called Hostile Intelligence, and there are two NPCs you need to pay attention to. So one of them is right at the beginning of the mission. You're going to want to go ahead and talk to Gulter, which is also a vendor for certain weapons. So he sells the Reckless Bombardment as well as the Vampire's Gift, both very strong, unique weapons, especially the Reckless Bombardment. This again comes with some of the best mods out there, and it also features the Hornet's Nest. Now, I already covered this mod in one of the previous videos, so totally check those out to see which of these mods are the best, but Hornet's Nest was consistently an amazing option for explosive damage. You can basically take down enemies very easily, and it also covers a very high area in terms of AoE if you want to take multiple targets at the same time. Vampire's Gift is also pretty good. It comes with a chance to make humans drop extra med packs upon death, so if you want more healing, this can help with that. Plus, it's an amazing weapon for stealthy characters via the suppressor mod and the recon laser sight it comes with equipped by default. These can make it much easier to sneak into bases, take down enemies without being heard, and also make it easier for target acquisition via the laser sight. But if you continue with the mission and eventually reach a second planet, you're going to be directed towards an armory to stock up on ammo and some weapons. But inside of this, you also get the objective to grab the Antixeno armor, which in my opinion is one of the coolest in the game, and it comes with some very strong stats. One of which is the fact that it comes with a whole bunch of resistances to pretty much everything, so you're going to be very well protected with this one. This is especially so because you get the Sentinel perk from the spacesuit, which has a 75% chance to reduce damage by 50% while standing still. You also get the automatic, which automatically triggers the med packs if you have them once you drop below 25% HP. Also, the helmet has a chance to set enemies on fire, which is always useful, so you kind of do want that. Plus, the backpack also has some extra carry capacity if you want that. So 20 kilograms, not too shabby, but yeah, it's going to be helpful at that stage. But during these moments is also when you can grab 2 apartments in New Atlantis. One of them is paid and the other one is going to be for free. So the first one you get right at the end of the Friends Like These mission for the UC Vanguard. In this case, you're going to be pulled aside by this character and they're going to tell you to speak to a nearby realtor as there's going to be an opening to buy an apartment in the well. So you can find the realtor just down of the mast area and yeah, just talk to them and you can buy a 30,000 credits apartment in the well. Now this is going to look really bad. I don't recommend purchasing it. This just looks like way too depressing, and honestly, if you just press on forward and finish the main quest, eventually you're going to get a free luxury penthouse instead. So once you finish the entire chain, go ahead back to Recruiter Tuala and again speak to him. There's even an activity that makes you follow him over here, and he's going to tell you about an opening for a free penthouse that is given to you for the deeds that you have done. From this point on, again, go ahead and talk to the realtor, and from this point on you can go into the residential district and just head over to this building right here. You're going to notice because its name is the Mercury Tower, and inside of it there's only one lift that brings you to the penthouse. I'm not going to lie, the views over here are absolutely insane. You can pretty much see all over the planet in the distance, all the vegetations and the trees. It's one of the best views in the entire city. Plus, inside the apartment is absolutely huge. You have a lot of rooms, I believe a couple of bathrooms, so plenty of room to just place in as many decorations as you want and even turn it into your own base of operations if you choose to. However, the only thing I kind of wish was possible was to immediately teleport to it. It doesn't seem to have that function yet in the game, but hopefully in the future will get added and it will make the apartments a lot better. But this isn't where it all stops. There's one more faction you should definitely check out, and that is of course the Crimson Fleet. I already explained why this is a very good one to join, since it gives you a lot of free way to smuggle. It even has its own smuggling missions, and it can like just give you a lot of avenues to become a pirate. But during this quest is also when you get the choice to choose one of the 2 factions that you kind of played in this quest chain, so either SysDef or Crimson Fleet, and depending on the choice you're going to get different rewards and outcomes. So don't worry, the game is going to absolutely point out to you when you reach that spot, so you're going to be able to make a full-on save and just progress from that point on to see which one you like most. But if you choose to side with the SysDef and go against the Crimson Fleet, this, I believe, is one of the better options in my opinion, because, well, you just get to take down a bunch of pirates, so you don't have any bounties on them and you can now hunt them more freely, but you also get a bunch of very strong items from these. This includes Tempest. This is a very strong rifle that you get from Delgado. Plus, you also get his really cool looking outfit. This brings a 5% increase to your critical damage, and in my opinion, it's really unique, looks really cool with that scarf on the back, and yeah, you can definitely get it if you like the way it looked on Delgado. And you also get that pistol. A pretty good option, very strong in my opinion, but there's also an alternative to this, and that is if you instead side with the Crimson Fleet and go against the SysDef. So if you go against them, you're going to have to make another option at the end, which is going to ensure you get the items from this part of the story. So in this one, whatever you do, just try to attack and get in combat with Commander Ikande and the lieutenant nearby, since this is going to let you defeat them and eventually take their weapons. And if you take down Ikande, this is going to be the weapon you get from him. So this is the really cool unfair advantage. The radioactive perk here makes it randomly deal radioactive damage and even demoralize the targets. But again, we already kind of got one of those, which is why I suggested to go with the other one. But it's still a very strong option to have nonetheless. The damage on it is really good. But in both of these situations, no matter which of these sides you take at the end of the Crimson Fleet mission, you're still going to get 250,000 credits. So it's possibly one of the biggest rewards from any mission in the entire game, at least from the ones coming from factions. So whichever you pick, doesn't matter, you're going to be rich at the end of it, and that's the end of story. This is pretty much it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.